First, have a look on the learning objectives. At the end of the lecture, students would be able to define epilepsy, explain etiology and triggering factors of epilepsy, discuss types of epilepsy, discuss drug treatment of epilepsy, classify anti-epileptic drugs, describe pharmacological effects, clinical uses, adverse effects, contraindications and drug interactions of anti-epileptic drugs, define status epilepticus and describe its treatment. The epilepsy is defined as a chronic neuromedical condition characterized by seizures, altered or loss of consciousness, abnormal movement or behavior, and distorted perception. The abnormal movement is characterized by difficulty in physical activity such as gait. All behavior is labeled as scared look, excessive salivation and micturition, biting of the tongue, uprolling of the eyebrows, and muscle twitching, while the distorted perception is labeled as difficulty in understanding. While the seizures are defined as sudden, excessive, and disorderly discharge of electrical impulses. As the seizures are the main component of epilepsy, that's why the term seizures are usually used interchangeably with the epilepsy. These seizure attacks are usually seen in healthy individuals too, due to lack of sleep and hypoxia and the state of fear and anxiety. And the typical feature is the muscle twitching. The patient is labeled as epileptic patient when the person experiences 2 or more attacks of epilepsy within a short period of 6 months to 1 year. Some patients experiences the phase of aura, that is the phase which indicates that the patient will experience seizures within a short period of time. Never confuse with the term déjà vu, which is defined as familiarness with the surroundings, situation or people, though the person is experiencing or meeting for the very first time. Etiological factors include genesis, which plays a vital role, idiopathic factor in which the cause is unknown, the primary etiological factor, that is the one when the causative factor is removed, the person still suffers from epilepsy for the rest of their life, and include congenital defects such as depressed skull, head injuries, infections such as meningitis, brain abscess, and encephalitis. The encephalitis is defined as inflammation of the brain tissue due to the viral infections such as HIV and HSV, bacterial infections such as mycoplasma, protozoal infestations include malaria. When cases of meningitis, which is the inflammation of the meninges, the causative factors are bacteria such as Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, viral infections like HSV and HIV and mumps, fungal infections such as cryptococcal meningitis and others such as chemical reactions, drug allergies, etc. The secondary factors are those factors when the causative factors are removed, the seizures are also dissolved. And that's why these secondary etiological factors are also known as refractory epilepsy and include brain tumors and vascular occlusion, which lead to hypoxia and seizures, drug-induced such as the sudden withdrawal of CNS depressants like opioids, sedatives, alcohol, antipsychotics, the excessive intake of CNS stimulants such as amphetamine, cocaine, and caffeine are due to the toxicity of certain drugs like digoxin, which is an example of cardiac glycosides. Then poisoning of lead and alcohol also lead to seizures. Then high-grade fever, especially seen in children, cause febrile seizures. Diabetic seizures, that is the seizures seen in diabetic patients due to the hypoglycemic state. Then eclampsia, that is the onset of seizures in a woman before, during, or after delivery. It is associated with increased blood pressure with or without large amount of protein in the urine, with organ dysfunction like liver or kidney, or associated with clotting problems and pulmonary edema. The triggering factors include flickering and bright light, noise, stress, sleep deprivation due to the excessive use of gadgets. That's why the use of gadgets should be prohibited, especially 1 to 2 hours before going to the bed. Then decreased blood sodium level, especially in those individuals who are suffering from hypertension and using diuretics. Then patients suffering from diabetic seizures, which occurs due to the decreased blood glucose level. Then the excessive use of CNS stimulants like caffeine, cocaine, and amphetamine also lead to decreased sleep and hypoxia and cause epilepsy. For the proper diagnosis and for the correct choice of anti-epileptic drugs, the knowledge of types of epilepsy is important and include partial seizures, primary generalized seizures, and secondary generalized seizures. The partial seizures are the one in which the electrical impulses are generated in one lobe of either side of the brain. That's why this type is known as focal seizures. In cases of primary generalized seizures, the electrical impulses are generated in the center of the brain and covers the whole brain. Then in cases of secondary generalized epilepsy, in which the electrical impulses are generated first in the center of the brain along with the one lobe of either side of the brain. The partial and generalized seizures are further divided into subtypes. In cases of partial seizures, they are divided into simple and complex seizures. The simple seizures, so-called the Jacksonian seizures, in which the electrical discharge is confined to the motor area, that is the frontal lobe. In this case, the patient remains alert and include jerking of the limb, nausea, strange taste or smell. While in cases of complex seizures, which are so-called the psychomotor seizures, the electrical discharge is confined in certain parts of temporal lobe and associated with mood as well as muscular activity. The examples are confusion and repetitive movement. When the partial seizures are not treated properly, then it converts into generalized seizures and includes tonic-clonic seizures, absence seizures, tonic or atonic, and myoclonic seizures. The tonic-clonic seizures are so-called the grand mal seizures, in which the patient falls suddenly in convulsion and may bite his tongue and may lose control over his bladder or bowel. In this case, the stiffening of the body and then jerking of the limbs are seen. In cases of absence seizures, so-called the Patten-Mark epilepsy, the patient gives a stared look. In this case, the consciousness is altered. Then cases of tonic or atonic, in cases of tonic, the muscle stiffening is seen, while in cases of atonic, loss of muscle tone is seen. In both cases, a person falls suddenly. After 10 seconds to 1 minute, he recovers, regains consciousness, and can stand and walk again. In both these two types of epilepsy, so-called the drop attack. Then there is the fourth type, which is labeled as myoclonic, in which sudden muscle jerks are seen. The epilepsy does not affect person's physical appearance and performing skills if treated with correct medications at the right time. That's why there are famous personalities who suffered from epilepsy but attained a successful life, such as Abdul Sattar Idi, Charles Dickens, and Sir Walter Scott, the famous authors, then the US President Roosevelt, then scientists such as Alfred Nobel, Isaac Newton, and the famous painters like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. So the drug of choice is anti-epileptic drugs, while the other drugs are benzodiazepines and barbiturates, which are used as add-on therapy, because these drugs cause calmness and thus decreases the discharge of electrical impulses. However, barbiturates are also used as first-line drug in cases of febrile seizures, while benzodiazepines are used as first-line drug therapy in cases of status epilepticus. The anti-epileptic drugs are classified as older drugs and the newer drugs. The older drugs are those drugs which are approved before 1990 and include carbamazepine, divalproex, phenytoin, and ethosuximide, while the diazepam, lorazepam, and clonazepam are the example of benzodiazepines are also labeled as older drugs, while the phenobarbital and primidone are the examples of barbiturates are also labeled as older drugs. The newer drugs are drugs which are approved after 1990 include clobazam, which is example of benzodiazepine, then fosphenytoin, which is the water-soluble prodrug of phenytoin, then oxcarbazepine, which is the structural analog of carbamazepine and available with the trade name Trileptal. Then other drugs include pregabalin, which is also used in the treatment of neuropathic pain. Others include gabapentin, felbamate, lamotrigine, topiramate, etc. The benefits of newer drugs to the older drugs is that the newer drugs produce lack or less drug-drug interactions, having simple pharmacokinetic effects, and also show acceptable adverse effect. Other classification is according to the mechanism of action. This classification shows how these anti-epileptic drugs act, which is very helpful to memorize their pharmacodynamic effects, and includes drugs facilitating GABA action such as phenobarbital, clonazepam, and gabapentin. These are the drugs which potentiate the activity of GABA, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter of the brain. Then there is another group which is labeled as inhibitors of GABA transaminase. This group inhibits the activity of GABA transaminase, which is an enzyme causing breakdown of GABA. In this way, GABA stays for a longer period of time in synaptic space to produce its effect, and include valproic acid and vigabatrin. Then there is another group which is labeled as drug blocking sodium channels. These are the drugs which increases the threshold for axial potential, include phenytoin, carbamazepine, valproic acid, and primidone. Then there is fourth group labeled as drug blocking calcium channels. These are the drugs which decreases the release of glutamate, which is an example of excitatory neurotransmitter of the brain, and include ethosuximide, valproic acid, phenytoin, and carbamazepine. Then there is a last group labeled as drugs blocking sodium channels, which decrease the release of glutamate, which is the excitatory neurotransmitter of the brain, along with the aspartate, and include lamotrigine, topiramate, and felbamate. The phenytoin. The phenytoin is one of the important anti-epileptic drugs available with the trade name Dilantin. It sustains the membrane potential by blocking the influx of sodium and calcium channel, and also acts by inhibiting the release of calcium, and also inhibits the influx of calcium ions, leading to the decreased release of excitatory amino acids such as aspartate and glutamate. This drug is primarily used for the treatment of partial seizures and generalized tonic-clonic seizures, also helpful to treat ventricular fibrillation, which is associated with cardiac arrhythmia and digoxin toxicity. Phenytoin is labeled as class 1B cardiac antiarrhythmic drug, though it is rarely used as it has narrow therapeutic index and multiple drug interactions. It is also used as second-line drug therapy for the treatment of trigeminal neuralgia. The drug is well absorbed orally, however it is used IV in emergency condition. The drug shows narrow therapeutic index, that is, the ratio of effective dose to the lethal dose seen in 50% of the patient. That's why the plasma monitoring is very important. The adverse effects are dose-related and non-dose related. The dose-related include GI upset, neurological effects like headache, vertigo, ataxia, diplopia, and nystagmus. Ataxia means loss of control of body function. Diplopia means double vision, and nystagmus is labeled as rapid involuntary movement of eyeball. While non-dose-related adverse effects include gingival hyperplasia, hirsutism, macroblastic anemia, hypersensitivity reactions, which are very common, then osteomalacia, and then congenital anomalies. Gingival hyperplasia is labeled as gum overgrowth on the teeth, while the hirsutism is labeled as abnormal hair growth. These adverse effects are also seen in patients who are taking immunosuppressant drugs such as cyclosporin. Megaloblastic anemia is labeled as large size RBCs which fail to produce its effect and cause anemia. Then osteomalacia means softening of the bones due to the increased metabolism of vitamin D. Fetal anomalies, that is, the drug is contraindicated in pregnancy because of occurrence of fetal anomalies such as cleft palate. The drug shows multiple drug interactions and acts as inducers and inhibitors of liver enzymes responsible for the drug metabolism. When the drug is taken with rifampicin, which is an anti-tuberculous drug, and with carbamazepine, which is an example of anti-epileptic drug, then the effect of these drugs are reduced because the metabolism of these drugs is increased, producing less therapeutic effect. When the chloramphenicol, such as antibacterial drug, isoniazid, which is an example of anti-tuberculous drug, valproic acid, which is an example of anti-epileptic drug, these drugs are taken together with the phenytoin, then the metabolism of these drugs is decreased, producing toxicity. There is another drug labeled as carbamazepine. It is also an important older drug which is available with the trade name Tagrol or Tagritol. The mechanism of action, clinical uses are same as that of the phenytoin. However, it is also used in the treatment of mania, bipolar disorder, and trigeminal neuralgia. The mania is an abnormally elevated arousal effect and energy level. Example: decreased sleep, desire, abnormal excitement, increased talking speed or volume, fight of ideas, etc. While the bipolar disorders is labeled as mental disorder characterized by periods of depression and abnormal elevated mood, so known as manic depression. While the trigeminal neuralgia is associated with sharp shooting pain in the jaw, teeth, or gums, which lasts from few seconds to 2 minutes and occurs due to the pressing of fifth cranial nerve, that is the trigeminal nerve, by blood vessels, tumor, etc. The drug is only available in oral form. That's why the drug is not used in emergency and also in status epilepticus. The drug has a strong inducing activity, and the drug also causes induction of metabolism on its own. The drug shows narrow therapeutic index like that of the phenytoin. That's why the blood monitoring is very important. The adverse effects are non-dose related and dose related, and the non-dose related are the serious one. The dose related one are GI upset and the drowsiness, ataxia, and diplopia, while the non-dose related one include hyponatremia and water intoxication. Hyponatremia because when there is decreased influx of sodium inside the cell, there is increased sodium in the ESF, which leads to the excessive excretion of the sodium, lead to the hyponatremia. Also causes aplastic anemia. In this condition, the medication should be stopped, and also causes congenital defects such as craniofacial anomalies and neural tube defects. The craniofacial anomalies are deformities which affect a child's head and facial bones and produces multiple anomalies include hemifacial microsomia, that is the one in which tissue on one side of the face are underdeveloped. The drug also causes induction and inhibition of metabolism of other drugs, like when the carbamazepine is taken with phenytoin, anti-epileptic drug, phenobarbital, which is an example of anti-epileptic and sedative, rifampicin, which is an example of anti-TB drug, oral contraceptive, and warfarin, which is an example of oral anticoagulant drug. Then the metabolism of these drugs is increased, causes decreased therapeutic effect. When erythromycin, which is an example of antibacterial drug, isoniazid, which is an example of anti-TB drug, verapamil, which is an example of calcium channel blocker, cimetidine, which is an example of H2 receptor blocker used to treat peptic ulcer, valproic acid, which is an example of anti-epileptic drugs. When these drugs are used together with the carbamazepine, then the metabolism of these drugs is decreased, causes toxicity of these drugs. Then the phenobarbital. The phenobarbital is a drug which is available with the trade name phenobarbital, and the drug acts as a potentiator of the GABA neurotransmitter and also decreases the activity of excitatory neurotransmitter by inhibiting its release. Also causes hyperpolarization by prolongation of opening of chloride channels. The drugs are primarily used to treat febrile seizures. The sodium valproate or valproic acid, this drug is available with the trade name Epivol. The drug has multiple mechanisms of action. Number one, it inhibits the enzyme GABA transaminase, which causes cleavage of the neurotransmitter GABA. In this way, the GABA stays for a longer period of time in the synaptic space to produce effect. It also sustains the membrane potential by inhibiting the influx of calcium and sodium inside the cell. It also inhibits the release of excitatory neurotransmitter, that is aspartate and glutamate, by prohibiting the influx of calcium ions. The drug is available as oral form as well as IV. The drug also shows drug interaction and also causes inhibition of many drugs when taken together, like carbamazepine, phenytoin, topiramate, and phenobarbital. The drug is very effective to treat absence seizures, myoclonic seizures, and tonic-clonic seizures. It is less effective than carbamazepine to treat partial seizures. Like carbamazepine and lithium, the drug is also used to treat bipolar disorder and mania. The adverse effects include dose-related like GI upset, weight gain, and increased appetite. Also causes alopecia, while the non-dose related include thrombocytopenia and neural tube defects such as spina bifida. The spina bifida is a birth defect which occurs when spines and spinal cord do not form properly, and it gives symptoms of difficulty in learning. The lamotrigine. The lamotrigine is an example of the newer drug which is available with the trade name Lamictal. It produces its effect by acting on sodium channels. On sodium channels, it causes a blockade of sodium channels. In this way, there is no sodium influx, and which also inhibit the release of excitatory amino acids. The mechanism of action is the pharmacological effects are same as that of the phenytoin. However, it is one of the drugs which has no effect on microsomal enzyme, that is, it doesn't induce or inhibit cytochrome P450 isoenzyme. That's why the drug can be used with other drugs too. However, the metabolism of lamotrigine can is sometimes affected by valproic acid. The lamotrigine can be used as monotherapy and also used as add-on therapy. As monotherapy, the drug is used in tonic-clonic seizures, while in cases of add-on therapy, the drug is used in absence seizures and in myoclonic seizures. While the drug is also used in trigeminal neuralgia, migraine, and neuropathic pain. There is a difference between neuralgia and the neuropathic pain. In cases of neuralgia, there is sharp shooting pain due to the compression or damage of the nerve, and the pain runs along with the nerve pathway. While in cases of neuropathic pain, the pain is very sharp and severe due to the injury or disease of somatosensory nerve. Example is a Kapur-Turner syndrome. The adverse effects include skin rashes, somnolence, which is increased drowsiness, blurred vision, diplopia, ataxia, and influenza-like syndrome, that is so-called acute respiratory tract infection, labeled as fever, shivering, malaise, dry cough, loss of appetite, body ache, etc. The gabapentin is another example of new drug which is available with the trade name NeoGab or Gabex. It is a structural analog of GABA, and however the mechanism of action is unknown. It is the drug which shows no enzyme activity, and so it can be used with other drugs too. It is a drug which is used as an add-on therapy, and it is also used in the treatment of neuropathic pain. It produces somnolence, dizziness, ataxia like that of the lamotrigine. Then topiramate, it is a new drug which is available with the trade name Topamax. It is a drug which is the safest drug, and so it is used in pregnancy and also cause weight loss, so it is helpful to give in obese patients. The mechanism of action is that it blocks the sodium channel, in this way sodium influx is inhibited, and also prohibits the release of excitatory amino acid, that is the aspartate and glutamate. The drug has no macrosomal enzymatic activity like that of the lamotrigine and gabapentin. And the drug is also excreted unchanged in the urine like that of the gabapentin and The drug is used in cases of partial seizures and in cases of generalized tonic-clonic and absence seizures. The drug produces psychological or cognitive dysfunctions, weight loss, dizziness, urolithiasis, and paresthesias. Cognitive dysfunction include impairment or loss of intellectual function like thinking, verbal recalling, memory loss, and also causes difficulty in learning abilities and judgment. While urolithiasis is labeled as stones in the urinary bladder, while paresthesias is defined as abnormal sensation, example pricking. This important condition and seen in emergency called the status epilepticus, in which the patient experiences seizures for more than 30 minutes, or when the patient experiences 2 or more seizures without recovery of consciousness. The first-line treatment of status epilepticus in the community, that is at workplace, at home, or in the function, is that to move the patient to a safe, unharmful place, keep the patient in protected position, release any constriction near the neck so the blood supply to the brain is properly maintained, resuscitate breathing and heart rate by cardiopulmonary or mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, give sublingual midazolam or rectal diazepam or intravenous lorazepam. These are the examples of benzodiazepines which act as sedatives and hypnotics. These drugs decreases the discharge of electrical impulses and cause calmness in the patient. Then, when the patient reaches the hospital, maintain the airway and give increased concentration of oxygen, as hypoxia plays important role in occurrence of seizures. Check cardiac function, that is heart rate and blood pressure, as and also check the electrolyte level, because hyponatremia cause seizures, especially in hypertensive patients who are taking diuretics. Also check the blood sugar level, as it causes diabetic seizures. Also secure the IV line. Give intravenous lorazepam. If lorazepam is unavailable, then give IV diazepam. In feeble and old people in whom IV line is difficult to maintain, then give sublingual midazolam. This is an example of first line treatment. The lorazepam is preferred over the diazepam, as lorazepam is more potent and produces less cardiopulmonary adverse effects than the diazepam. Then afterwards give anti-epileptic drugs like phenobarbital, phenytoin, valproic acid to prevent relapse of seizures as second line treatment. Anti-epileptic drugs and pregnancy. The seizures are very harmful during pregnancy. In order to prevent congenital anomalies, the anti-epileptic drugs are prescribed. In this case, the topiramate is the safest among them. Oxcarbazepine is better than carbamazepine, and phenytoin and valproic acid are absolutely and unconditionally contraindicated. Folic acid should be given by pregnant women and by all women of childbearing age to decrease the risk of fetal deformities. Anti-epileptic drugs are usually prescribed as monotherapy to prevent drug interactions and to decrease the adverse effects. This chart shows the different drug therapy associated with different types of epilepsy and include partial seizures. In this case, the drug of choice is carbamazepine, topiramate, phenytoin or valproic acid, while the phenobarbital, lamotrigine or gabapentin are used as second-line drug or sometimes used as add-on therapy. In cases of tonic-clonic seizures, the drug of choice is carbamazepine, valproic acid, phenytoin or phenobarbital, while the alternative drugs are topiramate, lamotrigine or gabapentin. In cases of absence seizures, the drug of choice is ethosuximide or valproic acid, while the second-line drug is clonazepam or lamotrigine. In cases of myoclonic and tonic seizures, the drug of choice is valproic acid, while the second-line drug is clonazepam. In febrile seizures, the rectal route is the preferred route, in which the diazepam is usually given, or if the rectal route is not possible, then give IV route. Then the phenobarbital and valproic acid is also given. In cases of status epilepticus, the first-line drug therapy is lorazepam or diazepam IV. Afterwards, the phenytoin or valproic acid are given IV as second-line drug. The alternative drug is the phenobarbital as second-line drug. The anti-epileptic drugs suppress but do not cure seizures. So, up to 80% of the patients can expect partial or complete control of seizures with appropriate treatment. The monitoring of plasma drug levels is very useful because most of the drugs, especially of the older drugs, have narrow therapeutic index. Sudden withdrawal of the drug should be avoided. And also, if the patient experiences a seizure-free period of 2 to 3 years or more, then the patient can stop taking the drug. So up to now, in this lecture we have covered the epilepsy and its type, in which it is mentioned that the epilepsy is neuromedical condition in which the patient experiences seizures, altered or loss of consciousness, abnormal movement or behavior, and distorted perception, while seizure is just sudden, excessive discharge of electrical impulses. Seizures are interchangeably used with epilepsy as it is a most common feature of epilepsy. The epilepsy is broadly classified as partial seizures and generalized seizures. In cases of partial seizures and absent seizures, the duration of seizure attack is short, about 1 to 2 minutes, and the alertness is slightly disturbed. That's the reason the seizures are considered symptoms of epilepsy too. The anti-epileptic drugs are classified as older and the newer drugs. Among newer drugs, the topiramate is the safest drug in MS